Hi. I always think that the most difficult period to parent children is in their late teens, early 20s, when they've left school, starting out in life, consider themselves adults, but are not really responsible and can be a huge, distressing problem for you. Subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, and I'll let you know every time I post. I think that this is one of the most testing time for parents. But if you're in this situation and you're the step parent and not the parent, it becomes even more intolerable to have your stepchild, adult stepchild, kicking around the house, leaving their stuff all over the place, making messes, making a noise, or whatever it is that they're doing. But what can a step parent do about this? Well, so the first step is to acknowledge that you are in this very difficult passage of time where the young person is moving out of the home, and it can be really difficult. And the second point is to take a step back and keep it in perspective. I always like the analogy of becoming the fly on the wall. Fly up to the ceiling and look down at what is going on and work out what is annoying you the most and what you can do about what is annoying you the most, and do what you can to keep the situation in check. So there may be times you can be out of the house when it's difficult. There may be rules you can put in place that need to be kept, that you can administer. And the thing about rules is that a rule for a teenager or somebody in their 20s is meaningless unless it has a negative effect on them. So, for example, if they're in a habit of kicking their shoes off all over the house, one of the things you could do is pick up the shoes and take them to a box in the basement, which is really awkward for them to go and get their shoes back from. Or consequences to rules that affects them. It's got to have a damaging effect on them for them to pay attention to the rule. And think about what rules you want to put in place and communicate those well, both to your partner and to your stepchild. But also those rules could consist of a certain number of jobs that are theirs to do, which they get bonuses for if they're completed well. But here again, the consequences of not doing their jobs needs to be easy to administer and have a negative effect on them. Then, thirdly, use life and stuff outside the home to help you as much as possible to get progress. That might mean a friend of theirs has got a part-time job somewhere and there's room for another person to have a part-time job, or there's an opportunity that comes up over here, or somebody you know needs help here or there. You can keep on using opportunities that present themselves to try and encourage your teenager or 20-something-year-old to get on up and out. Keep looking for these opportunities, because one day it only takes one to work, And fourthly, and this is just a little bit of a plea, being a young adult is incredibly difficult. You don't know what you want. You thought that being a grown-up was going to be great. You get to being a grown-up and you know nothing. And you're really at a loss. You don't even have the structure of school to help you through the day. Now, I'm not asking you to feel sorry for your stepchildren, but I am just saying that if you can, do what you can to have conversations with them, talk to them about their future, what they think about things, help them that little bit in little steps forward. So in order for you to feel okay and generous enough about being like that with your stepchild, means that you need to have a lot of self-preservation too. Look after yourself. It's important that you detach from what's going on in the home enough so that you've got something to offer. Because if you get really ground down and wound up by this, then you'll be in no position to help. And finally, it's not always about being nice. More often at this stage, it's about doing a deal, a negotiation. It's not about handing them cash. You only give them money in return for something else. You only give them a lift in return for something else. It's important that they get this idea that you're there and you're there for them, but you're expecting them to behave too. So often when you get to these age group of late teens and early 20s, they take, and look after yourself. Do a deal with them. These kids really need you. And if you can steer them through this really terrible time of their lives, you have done well. But it is not for the faint-hearted. They can be super testing, and you're not alone if you're at the point of giving up. We run workshops, sessions, an email response service, and we write booklets. Look in the description box below for links to our social media and website.